Luna is a woman from Denmark who was born and raised in a family that had no knowledge of Islam at all. In her neighborhood, Islam was often seen as a foreign religion and even full of negative stereotypes. Like most people in the West, she grew up with the understanding that Islam is a strict religion with many rules. However, life often brings unexpected surprises. Luna's journey to discovering Islam did not begin with books or religious lectures, but with something simpler: observing the Muslims around her. Luna first began to notice the differences in the way her Muslim friends lived. She observed how they carried themselves with calmness and patience. What surprised her the most was that they never spoke ill of other religions, even when people around them often criticized or belittled other beliefs. One day, Luna asked one of her friends, "Why do you never speak badly about other religions? Don't you also believe that your religion is the most true?" Her friend smiled and replied, "Islam teaches us to respect all beliefs. We believe that everyone has their own path in seeking God, and it is not our place to belittle them." That answer left a deep impression on Luna. She had never heard anyone talk about religion in that way. Usually, religious debates in the West were filled with criticism and conflict. But here, she found something different, something that felt more peaceful and full of respect. Luna's interest in Islam grew even more. She began asking her friends more questions about their religion. One day, she accidentally saw one of her friends praying. She was mesmerized by how deeply focused and calm her friend seemed, as if she were speaking directly to God. Curious, Luna asked, "What do you feel when you pray?" Her friend gently replied, "I feel at peace. I feel close to God, as if all my worries and problems disappear for a moment." Luna fell silent. She tried to imagine what it would be like to have that kind of relationship with God, a relationship filled with tranquility, not fear or obligation. From there, she began reading more about Islam. She learned about prayer, fasting, and other Islamic teachings. She also came across inspiring stories of people who had found peace in Islam. However, the more she learned, the more she faced a big question. Do I really want to become a Muslim? Although her heart was beginning to be drawn to Islam, Luna couldn't simply ignore the fear inside her. How would her family react? What about her non-Muslim friends? Was she ready to live a life with an identity different from most of the people around her? She struggled with these questions for months. She tried to find reasons not to move forward, but the more she tried to avoid it, the more she felt that her heart had already found its answer. One night, she sat alone in her room reflecting. She realized that all this time, she had been searching for something that could bring peace and meaning to her life. And now, after discovering Islam, she felt as though she had found what she had been searching for all along. With a racing heart, she finally decided, "I want to become a Muslim." When the day came, Luna felt a mix of nervousness and happiness. She went to a mosque, accompanied by some of her Muslim friends. With a slightly trembling voice, she recited the Shahada. "I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah." As those words left her mouth, she felt something extraordinary, a peace she had never felt before. Her tears fell, not out of sadness, but because of the deep happiness within her. She knew that her life would change after this. She would face challenges, possibly lose some friends, and maybe even face rejection from her family. But she also knew one thing. She had found the truth she had been searching for all along. As she had expected, Luna's decision to become Muslim was not easily accepted by everyone around her. Some of her friends and family were shocked, and some even tried to persuade her to change her mind. "Why did you choose Islam? Isn't it a religion full of rules?" Luna smiled and replied, "It is precisely because of the rules that I feel more at peace. Islam teaches me to live better, to be more disciplined, and to value time more." Although not everyone could accept her decision, Luna never regretted it. She continued to learn, to delve deeper into Islam, and she fell more in love with the religion that had now become a part of her life. Now, Luna often shares her story with others. She wants to show that Islam is not a religion that restricts, but a religion full of love, peace, and meaning. She wants to prove that anyone can find Islam, even in the most unexpected places. For her, the journey to Islam is not the end, but the beginning of a deeper spiritual adventure. Luna's story is proof that guidance can come from anywhere, even from small things like seeing someone pray or hearing calming words. She didn't search for Islam, but Islam found her. And when her heart opened to accept the truth, she knew that she had found her true spiritual home. Her journey was filled with challenges, but also with happiness. And most importantly, she had found the peace she had been searching for all along. Brooklyn, a girl from the United States, found the light of Islam through a spiritual journey filled with searching and prayer. This journey led her to the truth she had been seeking, and with full conviction, she finally recited the Shahada and officially became a Muslimah. Through her social media platform, Brooklyn shares the story of how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided her to Islam. She believes that the guidance she had been praying for was finally answered by the Creator, who revealed the ultimate truth to her. "To me, God has shown the truth. Allah has shown the truth," she expressed with deep gratitude.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn, and I'm a Muslim. I grew up being a Christian. I wasn't looking for any other religion. I didn't think there was any other religion, just to be honest with you. One thing that I always consistently prayed for, though, was guidance. I prayed that God would guide me no matter what I was doing, no matter the bad things I was doing, the good things I was doing. Just as long as I was praying for guidance. And I knew that I was going to be blessed one day. I knew that life was going to be tough for me for a while, but it was going to be really good for me one day. I just prayed that God would tell me when that time was, when that blessing was there, so I'd be able to appreciate it. That blessing is me being a Muslim. I was 25 years old when I heard about Islam for the first time. I'm 26 now. Alhamdulillah, it's been a year since I've been a Muslim. And there's no turning back. Assalamu alaikum.
Since childhood, Brooklyn was raised in a Christian environment. However, deep in her heart, there was always a sense of unease that she couldn't ignore, especially regarding the concept of the Trinity. She felt that something didn't make sense, but she didn't know where to seek answers. Honestly, I wasn't interested in or aware of other religions. What I always asked for was guidance. No matter what I did, whether good or bad, I always prayed for guidance. Every time I prayed, it was a request for direction, she said. Brooklyn's request was not just words, but a sincere prayer that she offered in every situation. She felt that there was something she had yet to understand, but she believed that God would guide her to the truth. Brooklyn first learned about Islam at the age of 25. At first, she did not have a deep interest in the religion, but her curiosity began to grow when she heard her friends talking about Islam. One of the moments that surprised her was when she discovered that Muslims also believe in the story of Adam and Eve. All this time, she had thought that the story only existed in Christianity. However, what shocked her even more was how Islam explains the stories of the prophets in such detail and clarity. When I was still a Christian, I remember my friend telling me about Adam and Eve and how Muslims believe in it. I was shocked that Muslims had knowledge of the story of Adam and Eve. Then they explained in detail the stories of Prophet Moses, Noah, Jesus, and Abraham, she explained. Brooklyn became even more curious and started to learn more about Islam. She read about the lives of the prophets, studied Islamic teachings, and discovered that many of the principles she had always believed in were actually in line with Islam. Moreover, she realized that the laws in Islam actually also exist in Christianity. However, there was one major difference that stood out to her. Muslims follow these laws with full obedience, whereas in the Christian community she knew, these laws were not practiced with the same level of discipline. The laws in Islam actually also exist in Christianity, but the difference is that Muslims follow them. The Christians I know do not implement these laws the way Muslims do, she added. After a year of studying Islam, Brooklyn finally made a major decision in her life. With a firm heart, she recited the Shahada, acknowledging that there is no God but Allah and that Prophet Muhammad is his messenger. At that moment, she felt a happiness that was difficult to put into words. A sense of peace and relief filled her heart. She realized that this was the answer she had been searching for all along. She then began practicing Islamic teachings with full sincerity, including wearing the hijab to cover her aura. For Brooklyn, Islam is not just a religion, but a perfect way of life that provides clear direction and purpose for humanity. I believe that God is one. He has no children and was not born from anyone. There is nothing like him. Islam is the perfect way of life. It is a guide for humanity from Allah, the creator of the universe. Within it lies guidance for life and the purpose of human creation, she stated with firm conviction. If there is one thing that made Brooklyn's happiness even more complete, it was when her mother also decided to embrace Islam. When her mother recited the Shahada, Brooklyn could not hold back her tears. She was deeply moved to see how Allah had granted guidance to her family. Her mother is now learning Islam with great enthusiasm, often asking questions and wanting to know more about the stories of the prophets and Islamic teachings. For Brooklyn, this is proof that Allah's guidance can come to anyone who sincerely seeks it. From her various life experiences, Brooklyn became even more convinced that worshiping the one true God is a human instinct. She encourages anyone who is still searching to keep praying and asking for guidance from God. If you feel that something is missing in your life, keep praying. Ask for guidance sincerely. Never be afraid to seek the truth. If your heart is pure, Allah will guide you to his light, she shared as a message to those who are still uncertain. Now, Brooklyn continues to share her story on social media, inspiring many people to learn more about Islam. For her, Islam is the most beautiful gift Allah has given her in her life, and she wants to share that beauty with the world.